Good afternoon, everybody, and how are you? My name's Iris Smith, and I make beautiful artificial flower arrangements for all occasions. Welcome, guys, and thank you all for your wonderful comments. As always, it's lovely for you to be watching again. Today, I promised that I would do probably about 3 bows on a tutorial that I've been asked to do, which I don't mind because it needed updating anyway. So I did do the actual video that I recorded, and then I just analysed it and had a look. The camera was in the wrong place. Typical me. And I was chatting away to where the camera wasn't even really focused on what I was doing. It was a bit further and more focused on my stomach than anything else. So I've had to undo the bows. Typical me. We all get these problems. So I've had to undo the bows, and I've kept the ribbon that I've used, and we're going to redo it using the same ribbon that I've done in the first place. So if I can remember what I did, I mean, at my age, crikey, who knows? I forgot what date it is. So that's what we're going to do. Now, I've added a couple more reels in one of them. I thought, oh, let's just, do one with 2 ribbons, one with 3, and then one with 4. We'll do it like that instead. So the first one, I mean, again, I've had to undo it. I'm going to use the lovely pink and white striped 5/8 inch. I love my small thin bows. In the pink, and then the like a turquoise ice blue in the burlap as well. So that's the first one we're going to do. The second one that we're going to do, I've added in these 2 reels, and I've also added in, because it's got pink on, I did cut another pink, some more of the pink, and the brown burlap to go with it. So we have got that. And then I did do a Halloween one. So I'm going to do that. So we've got the green and black harlequin, the purple and black diagonal stripes in the 7/8, and the green glitter in the 5/8. And on that one, I did do a small centerpiece. So we're going to do that one as well. So I'm going to do it where it's going to be like in 2 ribbons, then 3, then the 4. So I'm going to bring the camera down. Hopefully I can zoom in properly. I've zoomed out at the moment because I've placed the tripod on my workbench, and it is now secure. I've checked, I've moved it, I've nudged it, you name it, I've tried it. Well, I think. So we're going to have a little go at that. So sorry about the first video, but we've all been through where we've had to undo a bow and redo it because it just didn't look right. So it is what it is. Right, so let me bring the camera down and let me zoom in. So one moment, guys. Oh, and I've got my jacket on today. I've taken Benji a walk, and it is absolutely pouring it down with rain again, and we have got winds. And we apparently are expecting thunderstorms again today. So here comes the autumn weather, but it's a typical weather over here in the UK. So I'm going to bring it down and zoom in. There we go. I want to tighten it so it doesn't... Oh gosh, let me just undo it again and lift it a little bit like that. So that is the position that I should have had. I think it was because I was talking to my son and I just moved it and said yeah, and then I just tightened it up and then forgot about altering it. So now I can do the bows by hand, I do quite a few by hand, but I also like to use the bow maker. I did get this one from Amazon in the UK. It was, I think, £7. Well, it was £6.99 when I bought it. It's now gone up, I think, to £7.99. So, but it's just got the numbers 1 to 6. It comes with 3 dowels. But I don't use the 3 unless, I decide to do a really big bow and I haven't got room in these 2 dowels. Then I'll place another one dowel in there and use that one as well. And I also had an old one that I purchased, the same as this. Again, comes with the 3 dowels. I did spray it, but it's worn. So now I've spread the dowels of this along. And the reason I've kept this and kept the dowels like it is so I can, when I'm doing my ribbons, I can place on my reels so they're not on the floor. Some people prefer to drop them on the floor when they're creating a bow. I prefer to have them up here with me, and then I just, as I'm making the ribbon, pull it and it will just come as I need it. So sometimes I may have lots of 6 ribbons, so I'll place 2 reels on one. You can get 3 on this depending on the size of the thickness of the ribbon. Maybe if it's a 4-inch, you probably only get 2 or 1. I'm not sure. I've not tried the 4-inch on here yet, but that's what I do. So if you get 3, you can get up to 9 reels on here. But I don't usually tend to do big ribbons with lots of different ribbon on. I tend to usually do about 2. I like 2, but I do like also 3. I've done where I've had 6 different ribbons, so I've got this to use for my ribbons. So if you ever decide that you don't like yourself the ribbon to drop on the floor or just get tangled up on your workbench while you're trying to create a ribbon, try and invest in something like this. They do the Easy Bow Maker over here in the UK. I mean, they are nice and they are good. I was going to get one until I spotted the price on Amazon. Amazon are selling them around 42 English pounds, which it just does the same thing. It's just longer and it's got a spool on the end, a dowel where you can place your ribbon as you're making your bow. So I just got 2 of these. Right, as you can see, mine go 1 to 6. So we're going to start off with the first one that I did originally do. And let me just grab it. I've still got the marks where I did it. I cut the first one at an angle, because usually on the burlap, I find anyway, I mean, it's doing it now. I do have a cigarette light. Yeah, I've got a cigarette lighter that when I've got ribbon like this, I just do this and it just secures the end and, stops it from fraying. So that's what I use the cigarette lighter for. And I'm doing I think it was a 6-inch, a 6-inch tail end, and this is going to be going to the top. I'm going to see if I can work backwards with this. So what I do, I'm going to pretend that I'm sat this side instead of here. So what I do then, I twist, let me think, twist towards myself. So then my ribbon is upside down, and you will know that by the stitching on the burlap. I choose which length that I would like to go, and what did I do with this one? I think I went to, let's see where it was, 5.5 inch. So I place it through the dowels and then I twist towards myself again. Again, I'm doing this upside down, so that should go up here, sorry. And twist towards myself again so the ribbon is upside down. go to the same mark where I've done this one at 5.5 inch, do the 5.5 inch on this side, and then twist towards yourself. Then I'm only going to do 3 loops of this one. Then I place it back through the dowels, and I've now gone to 5 inch. So no, let's stick it at 5.5 inch, keep them all the same. So that is there. And now I'm not doing any more loops, so I will bring this down to the bottom. I don't twist it, you no need to twist it. Once you've finished the amount of loops you're doing, there's no need to twist. You just bring your tail end to the bottom. Let me just do this one as well. Then I got the pink one, and again I started at the top because I placed my blue dowel to, let me see, the left side. I am now placing this one to my right side. So that is the top piece, and I've just angled these ones. I've not dovetailed. So then what I'm going to do, because I've done 2 blue loops here, I want 2 pink here. So I twist towards myself like so, place it through the dowels. Again, I'll stay at 5.5 inch. So I do that, put it through the dowels, twist towards yourself, place it back through the dowels, measure with the blue one at 5.5 inch because this is going to be the same size loop, and then we're back here on this side. So then I twist towards myself again, place it back through the dowels, measure it with this one, and then I don't need no more loops, so then I bring that to the bottom. And the thing is now, as you can see, I've got 2 blue, 1 pink, 2 pink, 1 blue. So I've done it alternatively to this side. Then I'm going back to the blue burlap, and I'm bringing this to the top again, but I'm going back through where I placed the pink one because I don't want both the blue ones to be clashing and being next to each other. So I'm taking this one over to this side, so then it will be blue, pink, blue. So I'll place that through again, the same length tail ends. If you're not sure, just measure the one before with each other, and if it measures to the exact length, you know you've got it right. So now on here I'm going to just do 1 loop either side. So twist towards yourself again, place your ribbon through the dowels, keep it at 5.5 inch, then twist towards yourself again, so your ribbon is upside down, place it back through the dowels, measure that it's the same length as the pink ribbon above underneath it, and that is it. Now I've got the 2 blue. Now I'll pull my tail end here. I've got the 2 blue on the same side here. Once I place in my cable tie and I've tightened it, I will manipulate this blue over here and bring the pink in the center like that. So don't worry at the moment that it's on the same side. So then now I've got the pink. I don't want the pink on the same side as this one, so I'll go on to the left side and I'll place that through, so then it's pink, blue, pink, blue. Then I'll twist towards myself, and again we'll just do the same measurement of loops. Let's just measure it with this one, the blue, like so. Then twist again toward yourself. Just do a half turn. You don't need to twist it all the way around a 360. Just a half turn will, you know, is enough, as long as your ribbon is upside down when you've twisted it. Then bring it through here, measure it with the blue one here, and then bring that down there. So now we have the same issue at the bottom. The two pinks are next to each other. So again, when I've tied it with the cable tie, that blue there, pink there, blue there, and pink there. So it will be like that. So before you take it off the bow maker, you can now manipulate your loops. I tend to manipulate them just to get them in the position that I'd like them to be when I take it off. So because we've got pink here, I want the blue one next to it. Then I will place this single pink in the middle. Then with this pink, then obviously I want the pink at the bottom with the two. So I've got that under there. Then I've got the blue. So it's blue, pink, blue. And then the second loop on this side, which is the pink, put it after there. So it's in blue, pink, blue, pink, blue, pink, all the way up to the top. And it follows that sequence around. So that one goes there. So now on here I've got the pink. So I need the blue at the bottom. So we'll bring the blue down there. Then I've got the pink here because we've got two blues on this side. I will bring the pink and leave it in the middle of the two blues. Grab the other blue here, bring it after this pink here. I always start from the bottom. And then we want the pink. So we'll grab that pink there, and then that blue goes in the middle with this pink. So that is how, excuse me, I've done it. So let's get our cable tie. Now some people place this, you can use a floral wire or a pipe cleaner or cable tie, anything that you tend to use and you're more comfortable with. I tend to bring the cable tie and I slide it under the bottom bow and under the bottom, the first tail end, and I bring it to the center. I part which side the tail ends go and bring it in between there. Then I put the cable tie on, and I'm not pulling it too tight as of yet because I need to make sure these tail ends are in the position and in the color coordination that I'd like. So I have to take it off, and on here you will see that there's a line or a dent where the dowels were sitting. That is your center point for your cable tie, wire, pipe cleaner to sit, because that is the center point. So then I just bring my cable tie around the back and sit it in that dent where the dowels were. Then I just pull a little bit more tighter, and before I do anything else, I now make sure that I arrange my tail ends all in colour sequence. So we've got the pink, blue, because I've just manipulated this pink from this side over here, and that is why I haven't tightened my cable tie. And then we want the pink after the blue tail end, so it'll be the pink, then the blue, then the pink, then the blue again, and then the pink tail end, then the blue tail end, then the pink, then the blue, and then this pink goes here after the blue tail end, then the blue, then the pink, then the blue, and then the pink tail end. And these two are in the middle on top. So I just bring them slightly towards the center. So they will then be like that. Then I will pull on there, and that is my bow. And what I've forgotten to do is place in my floral wire. So if you do that and you've forgotten, if you can pop one through, then pop it through if it allows you. I don't think I can get it through, but I'll show you on the other one. But that is our first bow using 2 colours, and cut the excess off that you don't need once you've placed your, obviously, your wire in. So that is our first lovely bow for our lovely 2 colour. And then all you do, fluff it up. If you want wider loops than this, just place more fingers in and open it wider if you want it like that. I tend to just place in about 2 fingers and just do it that. And then sometimes I just push it here to just give a bit more, you know, define that roundness on the end. So I go like that and then just pop it. Or if I'm happy with the way the loops are already, then I will just go around and just press them down so they've got a little bit more of a round shape. That will sit pretty. Doesn't that look wonderful? So that is your first bow that we've created with 2 ribbons. Now we'll go on to our Halloween. And again, I'm going to do this upside down. We'll start with our Harlequin. And the tail ends I chose on here are 7 inch. So I'm going to bring this up to the right at the top. And then I'm going to, as you can see, the pattern is on top. So then I'll twist towards myself. So now the pattern is reversed. And then again, I choose what length I want my ribbon. And we're going to go 6 inch. So I've placed it where the number 6 is on the left. Then I twist, once I've brought it through the dowels, twist again, half turn to myself. So the pattern is upside down. Then bring it over. Sometimes I will fold the ribbon just so it goes through, because sometimes it gives a nice pleat in the center. So we'll go to 6 inch again and press that down. So then again, I want some more loops, so I'm going to twist towards myself again. And then bring it through the dowels, measure it with the one underneath, because that's already at 6 inch. Twist again towards myself, half a turn, and bring it back through the dowels. Now I'm not doing long tail ends on this. I'm doing longer at the top and shorter at the bottom, or I may twist it round. I may have started off with the wrong end of the ribbon, but you get the gist. So that is our first one. Then I'm going to use the purple and black diagonal ribbon, and I'm going to go over to the left side. That's on the right side, we're going to the left side. So we'll place that through, measure where we had our tail end, which is around there, and your pattern is upright. Again, twist towards yourself, half a turn, bring it through your dowels, and then we're going to do, shall I do, we're going to go to 5.5 inch. So I'm going 1/2 inch smaller. So you can just see the Harlequin popping up above. So go through the dowels again, twist towards yourself 1/2 turn so you see your pattern is upside down. Go back through the dowels. I'm going to go to 5.5 inch, so I will look for 5.5 there. Then twist towards yourself again. Then go back through. I'm going to measure it with the one underneath, which is 5.5. And then I'm going to twist towards myself. Bring this. I think I've done this a little bit too short. And I bring that there. Yeah, I think I may have to shorten the tail ends, the loops. So sorry about that. Let's go back. This is what happens if you've gone slightly wrong. Let's go back and we'll go to 5 inch instead. Again, twist towards yourself. Sorry about that. We'll go to 5 inch. Like so. Twist towards yourself. So we've gone 1 inch shorter than the Harlequin. Measure it with the one on the bottom. Twist again, 1/2 turn towards yourself. Measure it with the one on the bottom. And there, that one's a bit longer, look. Oh gosh. But we'll cut them down. Right, so that is those two. So I'm now going to go with the 5/8 glittery green. I don't want to place the green on the same side as this. I want it to go green, purple, green. So I'm going to bring this one back on to the left side, just after the purple. So we've got it there. I'm going to twist, oops, wrong way, twist towards myself. And I'm going to go shorter with these. So I'm going to go about 4 inch. So I'm going 1 inch shorter than everything. We'll cut the tail ends down to size. Twist towards yourself again. Go through your dowels. Just make sure that's at 4. Yeah. Then measure 4 inch again. Here. Twist again towards yourself, 1/2 turn. Go through your dowels. Measure with the one underneath, which is there. Twist once, 1/2 turn towards yourself and measure with the one underneath, and that is that. This is even longer, look. I forgot to say, I did dovetail these ones. So because I'm going to cut these, I'm going to show you how, for you new beginners, I fold the ribbon in half. Now you have the folded part here and then the open part where the wire is. Go to the folded part, cut it at a diagonal position like that down to the wire, and it creates a dovetail. So we will cut those into shape as we've done. Now, as I said from the beginning, I did cut a centerpiece. I just cut a little bit off the ribbon. I fold it in half, pinch it at the bottom, place it through the center of my dowels, and I do it, and then I'm going to do it a little bit shorter than what these green ones are. So I've got a little excess bit here for the cable tie to attach to hold it into place. So that is that one. So again, I slide under with my cable tie to I get to the center. Just lightly fasten it so it doesn't move. That's the center one, so I don't need to think about where that needs to be placed. So now I start from the bottom. So we have the one on the bottom, bring to the bottom, like so. Then you have the one on the harlequin, which was the second harlequin, which is on top of the bottom one, bring to the top. And then you get your purple one, which is at the bottom, bring to the bottom. Then you get the purple, which is on top, bring to the top, like so. You create it, you're going to be creating the letter X. Then you get the green glitter one, which is on the bottom, bring to the bottom, and the one on top, bring to the top, like so. Then you change sides and you do it again, but the opposite way round. We started with the one on the bottom goes to the bottom. Now the one on the bottom on your right side, bring it to the top. And the one on the top, bring to the bottom. And when I say bottom and top, I mean because we're working from the bottom here. So it's like we have the two purple here. That's on top of that one. So that's why I sort of say the one on the top. So get the one on the bottom, which is underneath that one, bring that to the top, get the one on the top, and bring to the bottom, like so. Then with the green as well, the one on the bottom, bring to the top, and the one on the top, bring to the bottom. So you're basically doing the opposite position what you did on this side to create your letter X with all your different coloured ribbons. So now I've got those in the position that I'd like them to sit. I will pull a little tighter, pull off of my bow maker, and again you will see that dent where the dowels were. Take your Chanel stick or wire or pipe cleaner or cable tie to that position. Then get, you know, I use a floral wire, but you can get another pipe cleaner or another pipe cleaner or another cable tie or anything. Thread it through the center of the cable tie. Once you've done that, pull as tight as you can, and then snip off the excess of the cable tie. And then you can see the floral wire is here. So I bring the floral wire together, and I don't twist the wire, because sometimes I've had wire where it has a tendency to snap the more you twist it tighter. So I twist the bow. So I just bring them together, 1, 2, and that is all I need. And then that I can attach to a grapevine wreath, spruce, anything like that. So now you can see that the loops have gone closer together. That's okay, because they are in that sort of a position where I'm wanting them to sit anyway. So all I do now, because the purple is the center one, I grab the 2 green on top, tug to each side. I grab the 2 purple, tug to each side. And then I grab the harlequin and tug to each side. So then you will see that you have them spread back out, you know, compared to this side. So then I just do the same on the opposite side, just tugging them out, just to spread them so it looks more pleasing, I guess, to the eye. And then now I fluff up. So I do this. The one in the center, I will just leave in the center to sit here. So then I just bring my lovely ribbon and place it where I would like it to sit. And the tail ends as well. Like so. So these tail ends are slightly long. So I'm going to dovetail these again. So again, I just fold in half. The folded side, I put my scissors and cut diagonal to the wire. And I then get the other one, do the same with that. And even the little green one. Make sure they're folded in half. And I've done it with that. So there. So now because we've got this one's the shortest, I want to measure these up with that one. You don't have to. You can have them all at, at different lengths. But I like to see it where it is, relatively the same around. So we'll cut again at a dovetail. Oops, I've gone a bit high there. And have that shorter. We'll do the same with this one. So we've got our dovetails smaller here. So that is now our bow. That would sit beautiful on a lovely, lovely Halloween wreath, swag, any arrangement. And that's how I place in the centerpiece. And again, just fluff up using your fingers. And if you think your loops are wide enough, in the center, I tend to just, again, press them down a little bit just to make them look round, because that one's really slightly closed a bit more. So I will open it up and then just pat it down like so, just to give that a bit more of a rounded shape. And that what gives you your fluffiness. So that is your Halloween ribbon using 3 ribbons. So I hope you like that one. So now we are going to use 4 ribbons. So I did do just 2, but then after the video didn't work, I decided to do 4. So do 2, 3 and 4. So I'm going to start, I think, with the red. I'll add then the brown, then the red diagonal, and then the thinner one. I tend to bring the thinnest, some people don't. I've seen them where they put the thinner one at the back, but I tend to do it in more or less the size order. I mean, that's 1.5 inch, that's 1.5 inch, and that's 1.5 inch. So they're okay. But I just bring the thinner one to the front with it, so it can be seen. So let me just get out to put my ribbon on. So we're going to do the red with the white little pom-poms on the side. It's silk, it is wired. So we're going to use that one first. Then we're going to use our brown burlap. So I'll place that second. Then we'll use the diagonal third. So I'll place that on there. and then our pink. So I don't even know what's the size of the loops I've done on here. Oh, I only did a small one, 4.5. Right, so I'm going to cut. No, on this one, no, I did do different ways of doing your tail ends. On this one, I folded them over when I did it. So I just turn over the end. You can, if you wish, if you don't feel like your ribbon will hold as you fold it over, get your glue gun. I mean, I haven't got mine on. Just place a little bit of glue on and then turn it back over, and then it will just stay in place. So we've had the diagonal cut on the tail end, the dovetail. Now this is just the square, the straight cut across. Now, how long did I do the tail ends on here? Not very big, so I did do a smaller ribbon. So at the top, we're going to do a small ribbon, but with a small bow, but with 4 ribbons. So I placed it through onto the right, through my dowels for my first tail end at the top. Twist again, as I say, towards yourself, half a turn, and I have done these at 4.5 inch. Place through your dowels. So we'll do our first loop, because some people like big bows, some people like bows that are relatively around 5 or 6 inch, and some people like small bows. So I've done this because I wanted to do a small bow for those people who like small bows. So twist half a turn again, place up to 4.5 inch through there. So then we'll twist again to ourselves, place through the dowels, measure with the one on the bottom, twist towards ourselves. I'm going slow because I want, especially for people who are just learning to do bows, that they can see it in, a slower speed than rushing it. So then I don't know how long the tail ends were on the end, but I will cut the red ones down to size and then bring this down here. So I'll cut it just here because I'm not sure until I measure it up with the others, and I'll fold it over as well with the others after I've attached everything and cut them down to size. So that is our red one. This would make a lovely Christmas bow as well. Then it's our burlap, which I've already turned over, and we started. I think they're both the same. Yeah. Place it now to the left side. Place our burlap in. Now, some people who've got the ribbon that's the same on both sides don't twist it. They just go over like that and place it through the dowels. I like to twist it. I find I have more control of where it's sitting without it just popping up because it's not twisted. But that's just my opinion. So twist towards yourself again. And we're going to go through the dowels, measure up. We're going to do all these. I think I did them all the same size. Go through here. Twist towards yourself again. Go back through the dowels again. I'm folding them over because it's a wider ribbon. So I'm folding it, in half to place through the dowels. Measure up with the red one on the bottom, underneath, like so. Twist again towards yourself. Place through the dowels. measure it up, twist towards yourself again. So you always twist after you come through the dowels, you know, if you're going to do more of the loops especially. Measure that. And I have folded this one over as well, so now I can see and judge how long I need this one. So that is your burlap. So now I know how much I need to do this. I always say when you're just folding them over underneath, when you're cutting it off the roll, just give a little extra for yourself to actually fold it over, instead of just, you know, measuring it exact as that one. So we'll go under again. I do it twice so it hides the end cut, and there you go. So we'll just place a little bit of glue on there also. Oopsie daisy. Fold it over, just press it down, and that will stay in position. Then we're going to our pink and red diagonal stripes. Now this has got tinsel on the edge where the wire is and glitter on the red diagonal, which is really nice. Now I'm going to do the same with this. Bend it over, bend it again, like so. Now this one tends to stay in place. It's quite a good ribbon. It's from America. It's excellent. So now I don't want the red on the red, even though it's got pink in. So I'm going to bring the tail end over this side to start with. So if I just bring it through, measure it with the tail ends at the top, like that. Then I'm going to twist towards myself, like so. I think I've got the ribbon upside down. Twist towards myself, go through the dowels, measure with the burlap, like so. Again, twist towards yourself, measure it with the burlap underneath, like so. And just keep twisting, as I say, every time you come through the dowels until you decide you don't want any more loops. Oh, it's thundering, guys, sorry. Go through again, twist towards yourself, go back through the dowels, measure up, and that is how I want it. So then I'm going to bring the ribbon down to the bottom. I'm going to cut again just a little after the red, just enough so I can turn it. So it's about another ½ an inch to an inch, just so I can, you know, bend it over. So there's one, and then there's two. So that's the other tail end. So we've got lots of ribbon on here. Again, you can place on as much as you like. Everybody likes, you know, their own amount of ribbon. So with the pink now, I'm going to come through, measure, looks exact, and in fact, I'm going to bring the pink to the right hand side because we've got pink on this side in the red ribbon. So we'll bring the pink to this side. Again, twist, come through, measure it with the one underneath, the red and pink diagonal, twist towards yourself, back through, measuring again, like so, twist towards yourself, come through, measure, twist towards yourself, measure with the pink underneath, that's the same, and then come down. Now here this loop is slightly, tail end is slightly longer, so again I'm going to cut slightly longer than I should, just so I can fold it, and I've got enough to fold under. So I only fold twice, I don't need to fold anymore. It's just, if I left it like that and fold once, you'll see the end where I've cut. So to make it look neat, I fold again and hide that. So there is your other tail end. So then we get our cable tie. We go through under the first ribbon and under the tail ends till we hit the dowels in the center, and then we pull, not tight again. Remember, I'm not going tight because I need to position everything. That belongs down there, like so. So before I take it off of the cable, the bow maker, I start from the bottom. So the first loop we did, which is the bottom, bring to the top. The second red ribbon, which is on top of the first, so I call it the top, bring to the bottom. Then you have your bottom burlap, so you bring that to the top, and the one on the top bring to the bottom, like so. And you do the same here, the bottom pink and red bring to the top, and the one on the top bring to the bottom. The same with the pink, the bottom pink to the top pink to the bottom. That's the tail end. Then we move to this side and we do the opposite. So lift up, so the bottom here goes to the bottom and the top goes to the top. So the bottom burlap goes to the bottom, the top burlap comes to the top. The bottom, the diagonal goes to the bottom, the top one comes to the top. The bottom pink striped goes to the bottom, and the top one comes to the top. Now I'm moving these in the position, obviously I will, it's just that, so when they're in the cable tie as they are now and I take it off and tighten it, at least then I haven't got to struggle to bring these loops into the position I want. They are in that sort of a position. That's not how obviously I'm going to keep the bow. I've got to fluff it up and everything, but it's just to manipulate them into the position I need them for when I take it off. So then I bring off my bow maker and again grab the cable tie and turn it to the back and place it where the dent is, where the dowels were. And then I grab my floral wire, thread it through the cable tie, pull a little bit tighter, and before I pull it to its max, I start to now arrange my tail ends. So pink, stripy, burlap, red, well, let's get this right. Red, pink, stripy, red, here we go, stripy, diagonal, burlap. So we've got it like that. And then I just start to widen the loops in the position that I place them on the bow maker, and I just again give them a tug down into that position where I'd like them. And the other tail ends as well. Bring them down where I'd want them to sit. And then just fluffing up and moving again, things where I want them to be. Like so. So as you can see, it's getting fluffier. So now before I tug away at them, I will pull on my cable tie and tighten it up so it's got everything held into place. And then again, I grab my floral wire. I can just bring it back through here. Place them together, twist the bow. 1, 2. Again, that is all I do. So now I've got all that in position, I can be a little bit more rough with my loops. And again, all I do, pull them apart like that. Just so then I've given them a bit of force so they will sit in that position that I'd like them to be. Instead of, sometimes the ribbon will float back into its, you know, a bit further back into the space it was in, the position it was in to start with. So I give it a good tug. I mean, the American ribbon usually sits anyway in place. It doesn't move. It's very good for that. So I think I've got that one wrong way around. Let's get that. Just bring that tail end down. So now I've tugged those into place. Now you can just open up your loops and fluff them up to however you would like them to be. And just go around. Now that is, we've done our small bow out of 4.5 inch, but with 4 different ribbons. And that's what's making it look, you know, really lots of interest, having all of these on. Some people again prefer just to have 2, like I like 2, but that's just my personal taste. But some people like lots. And again, just pat it, you know, give it that roundness, a little bit more round shape or full shape. And there you have your little bow, and your tail ends you can just grab and pull down and have a little curl on the end, however much you'd like it to be, just so it curls like your loops do and curls over. You can do that. Just curl the ends. So that is your 4.5 inch bow with 4 ribbons. So that is that. So that's all I'm going to do for today. So we started off with our pink and blue with just 2 ribbons, but lots of tail ends, and the tail ends were cut at a diagonal position. Then we did our Halloween with 3 ribbons, and the tail ends were cut as at a dovetail. And then we had our third bow, should I say, with 4 ribbons where the tail ends were folded underneath. So there is 3 different ribbons with different tail end cuts, and with 2, 3 and 4 different ribbons. So I hope you enjoyed that, guys, and I hope that's helped the lady who wanted me to do this for her. I usually like to place in a centerpiece like this, but if you don't place in a centerpiece, that's fine. But when you come in to do your arrangement, you could easily just place a flower in the center if you don't have one. Like this doesn't have one either. You can just place a flower in the center. Or some people, if I just get a bit of the green ribbon, some people will get the ribbon, cut a little bit of ribbon off, fold it in half. I'm going to use just this one as an example. It's not the right colour, but fold it in half, go through to cover the cable tie, the mechanics, wrap it around the back, tie it in a knot. I mean, I can't tie this in a knot, it's not long enough, but I'll just do that. Tie it in a knot, and then that covers your centre on your mechanics if you don't even want to place a flower in. So there's another idea for you. So that is what we've done today, guys. I hope that was all right, and I hope it's helped some of you beginners, or maybe others who who are advanced and just can't seem to get the bows right. I've had the trouble for a few years when I first started, guys. But when I was talking to a lady last night, when we first started making bows many years ago, there wasn't wired. There was no there was no wired ribbon. We had to make them fluff like this on its own without any wire. So yeah, it was just plain silk ribbon without the wire. And once the wired ribbon started coming in, oh, it was heaven. Oh, it was heaven. So, and then I was obviously probably the set lady as well. We was taught to do poly ribbons, what you'd probably have over here in the UK on your wedding cars, things like that. The poly ribbon, we was taught how to do those as well. So yeah, lots of things like that. But oh, it's much easier now with the wired ribbon. It really is. So have fun, guys. If you're going to give it a go, have fun and enjoy giving it a go. And just while you're doing it, if you feel, oh, you're not getting it, it's not sitting right, pause the video or rewind it, go back to it, and where you was a little bit stuck, go back to that position on the video, watch it again, pause it, try it again. If it's still not right, do the same thing. I've done this many times, guys. And then play it again, and you keep doing things like that, guys, because the more you do it and practice, the better you will get. I never used to think I would, but the more practice I did, the better I got. Well, I think so anyway. So I'm going to just bring up the camera, and I'm going to zoom out. And I hope that was, well close enough for you to see. I'm just going to zoom out. So I was going to do a flower arrangement today for a video, but because I did promise the lady I would do a bow tutorial this week. I've just had a look at the length of time. It's just over an hour long. So again, I could go on and on and on, but I don't want to bore people, maybe when I do another, if I do another one on bow making, I will probably do one with just tail ends, one loop, and a tail end, different ribbons as well. So you've got another idea of another style of ribbon as well as what the ones I have just done. But I just wanted to do these with the loops to start with 2 colours on one bow, 3 colours on another, and 4 colours on another. So I have done them in big different sizes, if you may have noticed. Again, the loops are much bigger. That's the larger one out of the 3. There's your medium, if you can see. And then obviously we've got our little dinky fluffy one. So we've got large, medium and small. Obviously I can go larger. I have done them where I've had 7-8 inch loops. So but you know, on this video, this is the largest one. So they are, you know, all different sizes. So I hope you enjoyed that, guys. And it's a different tutorial than doing an actual floral arrangement. I have got stuff to do anyway as well. I've got still researching for things that I need, and on different trade, you know, wholesalers. It's comparing who's got the better quality and the price. It can be a bit monotonous going, you know, back and forth, having a look, zooming in, things like that, you know, on new stock. So yeah, so that's going to be probably about 4 or 5 hour job. Anyway, have a wonderful weekend. I won't be here tomorrow. It's my busy day. So I hope you have a fabulous weekend. Give these, you know, give it a go with your bows. And I hope that you, you know, enjoy creating them. Even if, you know, you feel it's going wrong, start again. There's no harm in starting again. If you don't want to use your best ribbon to create, you know, if you're not sure about, you know, not very good at making bows, just use some ribbon that you don't really use very often, you know, and it may be a cheaper brand of ribbon, is not as good quality. Practice on that. That's what I did. I used to practice on the ribbon that when I looked at it and brought it, thought it was lovely. When it arrived and I tried to make a bow, it was a bit, you know, wasn't very sturdy. The bows didn't always sit in place. They had wire in, but the wire was extremely thin. So I used that to practice, you know, the bows that I had, you know, that I tried to learn. So do that instead of using your better quality bows. Ribbon, should I say? Oh, I keep getting bows and ribbon mixed up. So have a wonderful day. Have a wonderful weekend. Take care. All the best. Please subscribe, share and like. Let everybody know, you know, the flower patches around, and that, you know, we create some wonderful arrangements. And, you know, we also have a bit of fun as well and laughter. And it should, you know, hopefully it inspires you with the different colour choices that I may use and styles. And also to the point where it gets you interested and you may be hooked. Like everybody else who watches these videos, we are all hooked because we love it. So, again, have a grand weekend. Take care, guys. All the best, and I'll see you soon. Bye for now. Bye-bye. Right, I'm going to zoom in so you can get a better look at the ribbon, or the ribbon. Here we go again, look, the bow. So let's just bring it down. I'm going to, let me just get this off the stand if I can. Just bear with me a moment, guys. Right, let's just get in. So there is our, let's start with the large. There is our large bow with the lovely pink and white striped and the like a turquoisey blue, ice blue, I'm not sure, where we cut the dovetails at an angle. Not the dovetail. Where we cut the tail ends at an angle. And then because we didn't have a centerpiece, again, just get a little bit of ribbon and fold it in half, or in, you know, you may have to fold it in half again depending on how wide it is. Cut a piece off and tighten the knot at the back to cover your mechanics. So that is our one with, I can't remember how big we did the loops, guys. I think 5.5, was it 5.5 or 6? 6-inch loops. Then we did our Halloween one, where we've got 3 different ribbons: the Harlequin, the purple and black diagonal with the black is glittered, and the thing is the glitter doesn't shed, and then the green, lime green glittered, and again that doesn't shed, which is the 5/8, 7/8 and the 1.5 inch. So that's what we've used. And in the center I've done a little centerpiece to cover the mechanics. So that is our medium size one with 3 ribbons, and then our small one in the 4.5 inch loops in with the, if I turn it over, the red and white bobbled silk ribbon with wire, then the burlap, then our red and pink diagonal, and again that's glitter. I don't think that sheds. No, that doesn't shed either, with the tinsel on the edge. And then again our pink one, our 5/8, and again you can see the mechanics in the center. Again, you can either place a flower in there, or you can put a bit of ribbon around it again to cover it. So that's our small, medium and large. So I hope you enjoyed that, guys, and I hope it was helpful and it gave you some ideas, or you know, and also inspired you to give it a go and practice your bow making. So have a wonderful weekend, take care, and I'll see you all soon. Bye for now. Bye bye.